welcome back to episode 58, and today we're having a returning guest on the show.
Yes, Kelly Ingerson's coming on the show once again. Welcome, Kelly. I guess we're just going to catch up, basically. I think you were on episode 42 last when we talked, and the first time we talked on here. And so it's been a few months. So just tell us more about, your travels and photography since then.
Guys, hi Henry, hi Ryan. Yes, I've had travel since I've spoken to you, everywhere from Utah to Florida. So in September, I went back to Utah, and I went to Wyoming, to the Red Gorge, and photographs of the formations and stuff. And then there was some wild horses and buffalo, and I went out to Antelope Island, and it was really fun, just to go and use my camera in different ways to capture, different stuff. But me, it says don't go too close to the buffalo. Well, it's like, well, I can't get a good enough picture with my lens, so so I sneak up alongside this big buffalo, and I got a great picture, but I was a little scared at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I did that in September. Got some really great pictures. I sold 9 to my daughter, who owns a flooring store in Heber City, and she's just opening one in Park City. So she has some horses and buffalo and some landscape pictures and stuff to put up in there. So that's really cool.
Awesome.
Went to Florida. I was invited to the Spectrum show. It's in the Art Basels. It's like a huge art festival, basically. And Spectrum is actually in a really funky little area of Miami, in the graffiti district. So there's some like kind of interesting characters that live and hang out down there. So at nighttime, you don't really want to be out there too far. But they did graffiti stuff was just phenomenal. And I photographed the graffiti guys, doing their graffiti work, and just with a spray can. I mean, it's just phenomenal the way that they do that. But the really cool thing about Miami was it was a great experience, way over my head. Just a lot of people, a lot of money. There's a lot of really cool artists there, but there was some just really strange artworks. There was a box. Seriously, this is hilarious. There was a box, a clear plastic box full of shredded paper. And I have like $3,000. I'm going, wow. I can make that at home.
Most people.
I'd guess there it probably wasn't the art and probably the artist in that situation. I would hope so, at least.
It depends on whose paper it is, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It can't just be anyone's.
Oh, well, I do like office paper shredded. It didn't look like they even had like numbers or anything or letters or anything on the paper. It was just weird. Uh-huh. And then, but I met a bunch of different artists down there. I made some really good friends, some new connections. I'm talking to a gallery out in San Francisco and one in Santa Barbara, to put some of my sand artwork in. And there's a company in New York. They were really interested, and then they kind of backed out. I haven't really heard from them, so we'll see what happens there. At Christmas time, I did not get to go to the beach, so I was a little disappointed at that, other than my daughter flew down to Miami and we went out to the beach. They do not have good sand at all.
Okay.
No.
I was going to ask, yeah.
No. So Miami has the South Beach, which is their fabulous beach there. It's like every day, and they clean everyone's trash off of the beach because for whatever reason people think it's okay just to leave all their trash on the beach. So they rake it every day, and I think they bring sand in. It's kind of like Virginia Beach, whereas they go in and they rake it every day. So it was a little disappointing that there really wasn't any color or any pretty designs or anything. So,
mm-hmm.
So I didn't get.
Go ahead.
So yes, that was pretty much the end of the year. The one really cool thing about Miami, is I sold the piece that I had down there, and a lady in Australia bought it. Her name is Karen, and I went to high school with her.
Wow.
And so she's going to put it in her beach house in Kingston in South Australia. So that was really cool. And there was 4 other artists from the Dayton area that were also down there. So that was really cool. So there was 5 of us that represented, Dayton's Front Street Art District. So that was really cool. So it was a really fun experience. It's super mega expensive, way too many people for me. But it was a great experience to have, to experience and have my artwork and stuff down there. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Miami once. It didn't really feel like the rest of Florida for me. It was like too urban, not enough nature.
Yeah, it was. I mean, there were 6 lanes wide on the highways, and everybody was just trying to, push in front of the other one. And I'm just like, oh yeah, no. And I think that's why I have never been to New York. I've been to Los Angeles, California, and I've been to San Francisco, but not super excited about being there either. Oh, and Chicago. Yeah, I'm not going to Chicago.
It's just cold.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Right.
too many people.
Mm-hmm.
Too busy, but yeah, it's like those people think of those places being like the meccas for like galleries though, like New York and Miami, but maybe that's the reason why.
But yeah, there was an outdoor photographer that I met who had been in Australia. He actually does underwater photography of sharks and sea life. Really cool guy to talk to. And he had some really interesting, his shark pictures were like so clear. I've never really seen him like that before. But he had a seahorse that looks like it's got 4 leaves on it. That's like a native to Australia, to Southern Australia. And yeah, he just had some really, really cool artwork. And he has a sticker. This is hilarious. This guy's name is Paul. And it says, he has these little stickers, and it says Paul is everywhere. Doesn't have his business name, like nothing. It just says Paul is everywhere. I'm like, that is like the coolest thing. So he gave me a sticker. I put it on my truck. So
He's always with you.
People are like, who's Paul? I don't know. He's just everywhere.
It's a conversation piece then. Yeah. Like, who's this Paul and why is he with you? Why is he everywhere?
Everywhere. So, but yeah, that was really my time down there. So.
That's awesome. I mean, you traveled so much there. I mean, like, what was the highlight? Would you say going out west, or did you prefer? It sounds like you didn't really prefer Miami with how busy it is, but what was your like favorite parts of traveling?
Twice last year. I did one in July, and I went hiking in the Wasatch Mountains, and that was beautiful. Donut Falls, which is basically, it's a cave, and the waterfall comes down on top of the cave in a big hole. It has worn its way through, I guess. The rocks had a weak spot in it, I'm assuming. And the waterfall just runs down into the cave, so they call it Donut Falls. And it was really beautiful, which is inside the cave. And that water, I'm telling you, even in July, it is like icicles. It is seriously cold.
Did you try to go into it?
Yeah, we went in.
Waiting.
Yeah, we waded in the pond that's on the inside of the cave. And then it obviously runs down the creek. You hike up the creek, up the side of the mountain, to Donut Falls, and then you can go in the cave. We've got our picture taken inside the cave with the water rushing through the hole in the top. It was pretty cool. But yeah, that water was really frigid cold. And then I went back out in September, and I did the water, and I went to We went to in 24 hours. We went to Cedar Breaks. This is all in Southern California. So she's like 4.5, 5 hours from Southern Utah.